Welcome to our next review in the Cohiba 2020 video review series. I wanted to compare this 2006 Cohiba Siglo 6 that I'm going to smoke today for this video review and compare it with the previous review that I did, the 2015 Siglo 6. So I've gone ahead and lit it up. Before I talk about the flavours and the cigar itself, I just want to talk about the band. Just have a look at that band. I mentioned in the last review that the last cigar had a band G with hologrammatic design into it, so you could see letters under UV light. This is the older, what we call standard D band that came out from 2003 onwards, and it's embossed. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. The beauty of cigar smoking is inherent in this cigar right now because we tend to generalize, which you do. It's a subjective hobby. But we tend to generalize that the longer you age cigars, the more refined, smoother it becomes. I can tell you now that even though this is 9 years older than that 2015 cigar, it's more potent in the flavours, more potent certainly in that spice. It could have had to do with the era that the cigar came out. That spice just was nowhere near as evident as what it is in this cigar that I'm smoking from the initial third when I smoked the 2015 Cohiba 6. And I would imagine that might be the case because it's possible that the Ligero leaf in it or the Seiko, one of those or combination, just giving off much more smoke. You can easily see that from the video, much more smoke than the previous Siglo 6 that I smoked previously. Interestingly, the ash is way more white or grey. But again, the construction's faultless. The wrapper shade is similar. I mentioned that in the last video. Cohiba wrapper shades are very consistent in their colour. Colorado Claro, and they're supple. They've got to be Cohiba. Through the retrohale, again, it's stronger than what I had in the 2015, just from the initial third. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go, if there is indeed some complexity in this as I smoke it down. But the Cohiba spice in this is very prevalent in this blend. And you certainly have that refined hay. Much more buttery, definitely much more buttery than the 2015. In terms of elements of mocha coffee, I don't know. Not really. I wouldn't say the honey sweetness is that prevalent either, but we'll see how it progresses as I smoke through the cigar. I'll leave the review for now and I'll smoke further down into the middle third and I'll come back. So we're into the middle third, and after a little bit of time there, it was building up a little bit in intensity in regards to the spice for sure. That was definitely the predominant characteristic of the cigar. Just now it's settled a little bit, and I'm picking up some more of that honey sweetness, a little bit of citrus. Um, it's not giving off as much smoke as it was before, which is my preference. The ash has been amazing. I've ashed once, and it's been this wonderful white grey type of colour, and solid, just wonderfully constructed as a cigar. Still, certainly the spice is there, um, but the refined hay. You can tell more of the refined hay now into the middle third than at the beginning. Um, yeah, yeah, just similar to what I said before. It's just less smoke, a little less spice, a little more honey sweetness. But at this point of the cigar, the question has to be asked: how is it in comparison to the 2015 cigar? Uh, Similar yet different would be the answer. It still uh, has those refined hay notes that you had in the 15 Siglo 6. Certainly, that's true. The difference is that the spice is a lot more prevalent in this cigar, and as a result, um, nowhere near the top of vanilla bean flavours that you were getting in the Siglo 3, which 2006 Siglo 3 had the most of, 2004 had a bit more. This doesn't have as much as that, but I've been amazed with the ash. And as you can tell again, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to correct that part of the wrapper. It will correct itself. Um, and I probably would have to ash this very, very soon. Might give that a go now. There you go. There's the culprit that you get in these cigars is a few bunch leaves, and that possibly could be why that was giving off stronger plumes of smoke and more intensity and spiciness. Well, at least that's my theory. Once I get past that point, it'll probably settle into more of that honey sweetness and citrus uh, characteristics that are synonymous with Cohiba cigars. We'll see. Hmm. I am certainly enjoying it more at this point than at the beginning. So it remains to be seen how the cigar evolves. What I'll do is I'll go down into the last third and I'll give my concluding thoughts on the cigar. So I'm well into the last third, and uh, it has picked up a little bit in that citrus, that more of a lemon citrus. Um, Nowhere near as spicy. Paradoxically, not as intense in the last third, interestingly enough. It's certainly settled down. The ash has been unbelievable. You can see that. I'll probably just tap that now. Um, question is, do I prefer this to the 2015? Probably the 2015, just a little bit. I prefer that flavour profile to this, only because the prevalence of the spiciness, not something I tend to go for, but it may be something that you tend to go for, and it's quite okay. I've had to purge through the cigar a few times just to clean it out. Purging is the idea where you blow through the cigar to just clean out the flavours, I suppose. For a while there, it was a little bit heavy on my palate, no doubt about that. And I've had to really slow down in the last third. But the question about expiry that I mentioned in some earlier reviews, no way. 13 or 14 years old, and if I had a box of these, I'd have to say that I'd have to pick out another one and see how that is, and I'd be confident that they'd have the legs to go much longer. But it's interesting to compare two different cigars of the same vitola to get different flavour notes, I suppose. And I hope that it's helped you in your journey. If you have a box of Cohiba Siglo 6, in regards to when you should smoke them, when they're peaking, it's a very subjective question. And in regards to that question, it's a complex answer because Cohiba Siglo 6, the latest box codes from EOS are apparently smoking fantastic from what we hear on our forum, or fantastically. And there's nothing wrong if you enjoy Cohiba 6 young. I'd say go for it. It's all a personal decision that, as to when you enjoy a particular vitola, at what point. The whole fun of it is the journey and the process of when you reach a cigar and you let it settle and you rest and you come back to it a year or 2 years later and you see that it's changed a little bit. It's a fun part of our hobby. But as you can tell, look, I've enjoyed it sufficiently enough to smoke it down to the nub, and I might go a little bit longer. Anyway, look, I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I look forward to bringing you some more exciting reviews in this Cohiba video review series. Until then, happy smoking.